Hello there and welcome to the new channel.
Here to help you see
The new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Orgami.
My name is Daddy Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebostillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan.
Mike.
Nice for beer.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude. Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
My name is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories. Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and More.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the new channel. We're here to help you see the new you. My name is Michelle Mras, and welcome to Mental Shift. Good evening to the United States, good morning to India, and to the Philippines, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Thank you so much for joining me here on Mental Shift. This is Season 2, Episode 2. Tonight, my guest, or for you today, my guest is a philosopher, thinker, self-management expert, founder of the Wisdom Foundation India, and he's my friend. Please welcome Vinayji, but as I call him as Guruji. Welcome on.
Namaskaram. Good evening, Michelle. Good morning to everyone in Philippines, in India, and this part of the world. Lovely to have to be here and lovely connecting with you, Michelle.
It's so wonderful to have you. It's so difficult to reach you. I mean, you have such a busy schedule helping and doing so much that you do that it was like, I got you. Yeah, I've got you on my show.
I'm so happy to be here as well. Thank you very much.
Well, I wanted to share you because I was introduced to you by a mentor of mine. And he says, you must meet Guruji. You must meet him. And he invited me to come on one of the study programs, the courses that you have. And we'll talk about that later in the second half of the show. But he says, you have to meet him. He is such an amazing man, such a good-hearted man. And I said, okay, I'll go on the course and I'll listen. And I got on that course and listened, and there was so much wisdom and there was just so much enlightenment, and the discussions, the open discussion there was so amazing that I kept attending your courses. And I said, I want the world to meet you, because in this hectic world, in this craziness that's happening, we need clear thinkers in the world. But before we get all the way into that, I want to ask more questions about you. Because the other thing about you that is very special is my show is called Mental Shift. And so often people they come on and they tell about their mental shift when they were doing one thing and they decided to do something else. They completely changed their career and they moved and did something else. Your career change, your mental shift started so early and you were so dedicated. So you entered this field of spirituality at age 16. And what I want to ask you is, what is it that attracted you at such a young age? I mean, at 16, boys are chasing girls and wanting to ride their bicycles, watching movies and playing, games. What brought you into the world of spirituality so young?
In fact, Michelle, it was all by an accident. Oh. In fact, it was my father who was actually attending some spiritual gatherings happening in India. And he said, hey, man, come on, you like to listen to this man, because this man was a great orator, a philosopher, a thinker. And from a very young age, I had a flair for the English language. So he said, you like his command over the language. So he pulled me up and I went along with him. And believe me, the first few moments I was there, forget the language, something hit me so hard that it hit me like an avalanche. The message made so much sense to me. It brought about a total transformation in me. In fact, I would say that evening was the real mental shift I had in my life. And that's the only mental shift I had, which has changed the whole course of my life. I have thereafter never looked back, and all I've been interested in trying to uplift myself, transform myself, and all through the course of my life, I've just been touching lives of people, trying to help them lead a better life. So I'm extremely grateful to my dad, extremely thankful to them for introducing me. But it wouldn't have happened if I wasn't ready for it. So deep within, I've been always asking very pertinent questions of life. And that evening when we got back, in fact, I was saying, I want to pursue this. It's something very new, and I'm very excited about it. And my father asked me, why do you want to do this? It's going to completely derail all your plans. I remember telling him, I'm extremely grateful. I never said that with any disrespect. I told him, when I grow up, I don't want to be like one of you all, I said. Because, and when I said that, I genuinely meant because I saw a certain routine, mechanical existence in their lives. Mm-hmm. I knew there's something more to life than just getting up, going for a job, 9 to 5, earning money, spending it, getting married, having children. That's not all what life is. There's something more to life. Life is far more meaningful, far more purposeful. Not that you shouldn't get married, not that you shouldn't have children, not that you shouldn't have a job, but yet life is just not these. Mm-hmm. And as I entered into this field, all what I felt was so true. And I realized I was so true to myself, because that evening I actually discovered what I am destined to be, what my inner nature is. See, everyone is unique. Every human has a unique nature. What is known as, in Sanskrit, it is known as dharma. A very beautiful, very wholesome Sanskrit word. Dharma means nature. Everyone has a unique nature or a personality of their own. And I realized that I've got something which I've designed for. Nobody understood me. All my friends started ridiculing me, what I'm getting into. My relatives never understood. Even now, they don't understand. It's been 3 decades now. I'm doing it. They don't understand this guy is doing something good. That's all they know. But they don't know what exactly it is.
It's not their calling.
Yeah, it's not their calling yet. But all I can say is, as Shakespeare says, all of us have to find our identity, find our true nature, and you got to be true to yourself. We got to learn to live life for oneself.
And that's why we connect so well. I went to your program, and I always tell, and I've never studied Sanskrit or anything, and I'm always telling my clients, stop apologizing for what you aren't. You must embrace who you are. Who are you? Find it, because everyone's so unique. We're not all supposed to do the 9 to 5. We're not all supposed to do the exact same thing. I said, at the age of 46, I got in a car wreck and realized, as I'm stuck in my head, okay, I did everything my parents told me to do. Go for college, get married, have 2 kids, have a dog, a cat, a house, and 2 cars. And I was unhappy. And I said, look at all of you. I mean, so that's one of my callings as a coach. Stop doing what everyone tells you to do. We're not all supposed to do that. Follow your calling. And so when I met you and saw that you had found your calling at 16 and was dead target on it, and you've been changing the world, one spirit at a time. You've been enlightening people left and right. And that is such an amazing mental shift. Now, I attend your programs, and I love them. And I haven't gone for the last couple, and I apologize for that. I've been crazy busy.
No problem.
But when you talk about the internal wisdom contained in the scriptures, you say that they lay out a manual to life. And when you say that, I always giggle, because I said it when I had my first child. I said, where's the manual? Someone give me a baby manual. But I also complained in college that I'm going out into the world and no one's given me directions. You have directions for everything and everything you use, but your life, there isn't one. And then when I met you, you said the scriptures lay out the manual to life. What is that? Please explain.
You hit the chord so well, Michelle. In fact, this wisdom is known as eternal wisdom. In Sanskrit, it's known as Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana. Sanatana means something which is eternal. Eternal means something which is ageless, something which lasted the test of time. It is time immemorial. It's not my opinion. It's nothing mine in it. I'm just handing down the tradition which has been laid down from generations, and it doesn't belong to any particular religion. It's not religion. It doesn't belong to any particular personality. Nobody has a claim on it. It is just truths of life. Just like science has laws which govern the world, wisdom talks about the laws which govern a human life. And one pays the price for not knowing these laws, whether be it at the world or be it at the individual. I repeat, there are laws which govern the world, like there are physical laws, chemical laws, biological laws, physiological laws, etc., the gravitational law. There are laws which govern a human life as well. And as you rightly said, nobody has ever taught that there are laws which govern a human life. A human life is fundamentally governed by the law of causation. A law of causation is law of destiny and law of karma. These two laws come together to give you an insight as to what governs life, a law of cause and effect. Mm-hmm. There is a law of attachment, the law of the deserving vis-a-vis the law of desiring, and so on. There are many, many laws which govern life. And these laws are not taught in schools, nor universities, nor education institutions. It's not taught by our peers, by our friends. It's not taught by our parents. So I'm left out into the world to live a life without knowing how to live. Mm-hmm. Just exposing ourselves to possible mental accidents until something comes and you're forced to bring about a mental shift and bring about a change to your life. But sadly, we all have paid a price till then, isn't it? Because we have not known how to live life. So we have had series of mental accidents. Just like, as you said, everything in life comes with a manual. How can we be so oblivious to the most precious thing in our life, which is our life itself is so precious, isn't it?
Yes.
And how can we go on dealing with it without knowing how to deal with it? So the wisdom, the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal principles is nothing but a manual to life.
And they're so amazing to discuss. I love philosophical discussions. So if you're out there and you love to talk and piece apart when you hear things and ask why, these courses are right up your alley because, Guruji, I am always saying, but why? Okay, this, but why? And we're always doing it. It's a lovely discussion of he's not just telling us. We are interacting and digging through the behind the whys. And then we put it in practical use. And it's just a beautiful experience to be part of these courses. And when you talk about, I have to go back. When you talk about the laws, can you explain what, you just explained what the laws of life are, but are they relevant for today's changing world? And that's why I wanted you on the show. There's so many people right now in panic mode, just complete chaos, not knowing what to do. And what I've learned in the courses keeps me very calm. So can you explain how the manual life can be used in this changing world?
Yeah, in fact, as I've said, Michelle, in fact, these are laws which are applicable to people at all periods of time, people from all walks of life, whether you're a professional, whether you're a student, you're a sportsman, you're whatever background you come from. It has a great relevance to our lives where we are. Now, first and foremost, we all have to take a stock of our life. Just stand apart and just look at life where we are. And if you are smart enough, you will agree to what is being said. If you take a stock of life today, there is a great disparity which is happening. Is the standard of living is constantly on the rise. And all I can say is every 6 months you want to change, if you had to change your laptop or iPad, you want to pick up a new telephone or a new phone or any gadget out there, you'll find at the pace at which technology is developed, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's a far, far better place the world is. The standard of living is on the rise. But sadly, the standard or the quality of life is alarmingly deteriorating day by day. As we pamper ourselves with press button comforts, sadly, what's happening is we have lost our peace, we have lost our mental charm. There is depression, there is agony, there is sleeplessness. There are many, many mental issues which are tormenting human life. There's vandalism, there's terrorism. Why is it happening? We need to take a stock of life. And this is happening because there is actually an imbalance between the development of an individual and the development of the world. It all boils down to this. There's an imbalance between me and the world. The world is developing at a very rapid pace, but the individual is lacking back. You don't develop at the pace with the world is developing. So there is a disharmony. There is an imbalance. So
I want to ask you how to define, if you could define stress and happiness. And then we have a question that I want to ask you that's coming from the offline from the guest online, okay?
Oh,
but
all right.
How do you define stress and happiness?
See, stress is nothing but a state of mind. So also is happiness, nothing but a state of mind. Stress or happiness is an internal condition, please. But many people attribute that internal condition to an external cause. And I believe we fundamentally have gone wrong with our lives there, not realizing that nothing in the world can disturb you except yourself.
Yeah, it's all you.
It's all within me, isn't it? So I believe it's the world that's cause of stress within me. It could be my job, it could be my relationship, it could be my finances, it could be unemployment, I could be single, I could be married, it could be COVID, it could be no COVID. You have reasons to believe it's the external world out there that's instrumental for your cause of mental agitation. Happiness is cessation of those agitations. In fact, the best advice I received on the day of my marriage, a wise man came and said a few words in my ears. And he said, it doesn't matter whom you marry, Vinay. It's important how you relate to the person, whomever you marry. So it's not what you relate to, it's how you relate to makes all the difference. Now I can... I'm sorry?
I said I have to write this down. Keep going.
So it's not what we relate to, it's how we go about relating to. So when I say there is an imbalance between the individual and the world, it is that wrong relationship with the world which causes stress. It is not the world. You've got to come to terms with it. As I've said, everything in life has a beauty and charm of itself. There's a unique nature, a flair or a flavor. You've got to learn to take stock of it, make that assessment and deal with it properly. So I can continuously complain that the world is not fitting into my mental pattern. Or I continue to take a stock of what the world is and accept it and live with it. We have to seriously understand this principle. I can constantly complain that the world is not fitting into my expectations. Or I accept what the world is presenting and deal with it. It is that right relationship with the world. A person goes to a lawyer and says, I want to divorce my wife. He believes the wife is the reason for his mental suffering. Another person is waiting to marry the same lady. Just get the paperwork done. I'm there to try the nuptial. I'm there. I want to make you as my life partner. Now I ask you, is the problem with the lady? It's not. It's how you relate to it. So it's how you rationalize your mental expectations. If you don't rationalize your mental expectations, then you are not able to deal with the world. So it's all boils down to your relationship with the world.
I love it. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Now we need to ask, I want you to answer the question that was put in the thread. There are so many people saying Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om in there. And then there's Bill, he says, how do you use this manual of life to correct a person's wrong thinking? For example, getting out of your unhealthy comfort zones.
All through my life, as I've said, Bill, as I've said, I've been trying to touch lives of people, and I don't claim myself to be any successful because I can only touch their lives if I have worked on myself. The only way I can impact another person's life is by me being a role model. Does another person consider you as a role model? It's if not, it's rather difficult to impose your views or trust your views on others and expecting that person to receive it with grace and accept it and change. So even before you say something to others, it is important. Is whatever I'm sharing, am I being receptive? Is other person is being receptive to it?
And if they're not, then why?
then it's only going to have a backlash. So it's not that you shouldn't share your views or opinions to others. You should, by all means, if you feel they're going to be heard. But remember this principle in life: knowledge is always taken, never given. If there's anything worthy of being taken from you, it will be sought. Till then, you've got to respect that person's nature, respect that person's personality, respect other person's limitations, and continue to give to the extent that person is ready to receive. And the moment they're not willing to receive it, you got to take a step back, transform yourself. The moment I am transformed, I become a beacon of light for others to follow. I become an example for others to follow. And the moment you become an example, people will want to follow your footsteps without you wanting to educate them or tutor them or counsel them.
So then the next part of that question is, how do you get out of your own unhealthy comfort zones? I already know how you're going to answer it, but how do you get out of your own unhealthy comfort zones?
See, what is healthy and unhealthy is only relative. Yeah. See, what I have today, what habits I have today may be perfect for me. And as I move on, as I embrace higher knowledge and understanding, I look back at my own life, I look back at my own decisions, I look back at my own choices I've made. I said, I wish I didn't do that, isn't it? So the only way you will be able to come out of that mental block, we all are in a mental shell, we all are in a mental frame. The only way you will be able to do that is by constantly, two things I always tell my students to do. Keep receiving higher knowledge. Always. Keep questioning. Keep receiving higher wisdom. Keep enhancing your understanding so that you'll be able to look at life from a different perspective. Life is all about perception, isn't it? And it's your mind that's projecting the world. And you're looking at the world from your little perspective, from your mind. So if you change the ability to project, the whole world appears different. So keep changing the ability to perceive the world differently by enhancing your wisdom. And don't take it for granted because somebody else said so. Keep questioning it. So when you do that, you start embracing something on sound logic and reason. And that's when wisdom is made your own. When you analyze it, when you receive it in this way, you have personalized it, and that changes the mindset. It breaks the shackles of your own mindset.
Yes, it all starts in you. Now, we're gonna finish with this one right now, and then we're going to commercial. And when we come back, we're gonna go deeper into human existence and things like that. I love this conversation. This is why I love Guruji so much. I would just hang out with him all the time and just talk. But we're going into commercial. You all stay still. Don't leave us. Guruji, please stay there. Don't leave me. If you're watching this and you find this fascinating right now, please share the live link, because we're about to share some things in the second half of this show that you're going to want to jump on, and people you know are going to want to jump on. So please stay tuned. We're going to run to commercial. We'll be right back with Mental Shift. Welcome back to Mental Shift. The following TNC live streams are given to you in Philippine time, so please stand by as I go through them. Please watch all of our live stream shows, such as U-Turn, TNC The Talk, Awesome Day, and The Homebuyer on replays. Laugh and learn with the Puppet Stories on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Notable personalities and their stories on The Big Picture, Mondays to Fridays, 7 p.m. Listen to This Generation on The Millennial Voice, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Learn together across borders with Foreign Affairs, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Human Resources and Management on HR Hotline, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at noon. The Journey Continues, Moving on Business, Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. Well Home Brings a Well Life, Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Money and More, Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Philippines and 5:30 a.m. USA. Also check out the replays of CyberNext. Now back to Mental Shift. There we are. Welcome back to Mental Shift. My name is Michelle Mras, and tonight's guest is my friend. I call him Guruji, but he's Vinayji. And please bring him back, please. There you are.
Yes.
So we've had many guests say hello and Hari Om, and there's beautiful, so true, beautiful, kind words, so uplifting, sir. And there's a lot of people saying hello to you.
Hello to everyone.
Yes, excellent telecast. Yes, wonderful. Yes. And if you like what you're hearing, I am serious. Share this live stream right now because Guruji has so much to share. And what's really neat about this is there is so much. It's a manual to life. It is broad. It is about everyone and everything. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what language you speak. It truly is encompassing. And when I joined the course, I was blown away. I guess that's the best way I can say it. It was a group of people where I could actually talk deep thoughts and not be attacked. And, in this world, it's really hard to do that when you say, but why does this happen? And people do, look at you. I can't believe you're asking that question. That doesn't happen in this course. We openly talk and we discuss it. And it's beautiful. So I have more questions for you. Okay. You ready, Guruji?
Yeah,
okay.
Please.
We know that stress is inevitable to human existence. Or is it possible to live without stress while still achieving our successes?
Let's be realistic. I've said earlier that stress is a mental state, but it is not a healthy state of mind. Just like disease is for the body, mental ill health is to the mind.
Yes.
We all get diseased, don't we, at times? But our body develops the immunity and the strength to constantly fight the onslaught of the diseases. Now we are trying to defend ourselves from this COVID. We're trying to get ourselves shielded so that we don't get affected. We're trying to build that inner immunity and the strength. Exactly the same way, we need to build that inner mental strength so that you remain peaceful and happy and contented. At the same time, you're able to maintain a spirit of action. Now, many people try to find peace. Where do people try to find peace? People try to find peace by getting away from work. They believe it's the work that tires them. They attribute it to the external world. In fact, the Shastras, this eternal wisdom says, it is not anything external that causes a mental agitation. It's your inability to deal with it or your inability to handle. It's not the external world. It is your relationship. In fact, you need a rough world to sharpen your personality, don't we? So don't complain if the world is tough or rough. Doesn't a tough opponent bring the best out of you when you're playing a sport? Doesn't a tough competition help business flourish?
Yes.
You achieve success. Yes, but we are all in this game of life between me and the world. So my opponent is the world. It's not the question of winning or losing. It's the question of, am I enjoying this journey of life?
Yes, and such a
I got to enjoy every moment. Like I enjoy the sport every moment. I play to win, but I don't complain if the opponent wins. I go and congratulate him across the court and say, well played, man. But you will come back tougher. You'll come back stronger. You know, there is this simple analogy we always seen as a childhood growing up in India. You know, we used to have a person on a bicycle coming to your door, almost literally a broken bicycle. But he had a small grinding stone, a rough piece of stone fitted into the front piece or part of the cycle. He'll park your bicycle. And in a matter of few minutes, he'll help you sharpen your kitchen knives or any tools you want to sharpen, your gardening tools, anything you want. In a matter of few minutes, he will sharpen and give it to you. Now, here is a rough tool, a knife, and there's a rough stone, a blunt tool and a rough stone. And you need a rough stone to sharpen a blunt knife. You can't have a smooth stone, dear. You need a rough stone. Similarly, don't complain if the world is tough or rough. You need to know how to contact that rough world so that you're able to come out sharpened and transformed and better. Don't complain. The first lesson you learn in this Shastra, the scriptures, in this manual is don't complain. Take a stock of life. Don't complain. Take a stock and learn to deal with it. It is your right relationship with it that matters. It's not that what you're dealing with. It's how you deal with it. You know, this another beautiful example that really conveys it. You know, water at a boiling point, it softens the potato. Mm-hmm. The same water can harden the egg. So it softens the potato, it hardens the egg. Now, are you the potato or the egg?
Guruji, I say this all the time. I say the same water will soften a carrot.
Oh, okay.
It will harden an egg. But on a coffee bean, it makes it a hard, bitter coffee bean into an aromatic drink that everyone loves the smell, right? And so
I'm taking notes now.
Oh yeah, I'm
going to take notes now.
So yes, it's like, and the thing is it's how do you handle the water? I mean, my next question was going to know what mental attitude, but Kevin Lee here says, yes, diamonds cannot become such inner beauty without the constant darkness, pressure, and stressors, the challenges of the earth all around it, and the master gem teacher can discover the raw diamond that others have walked past. And this teacher knows how to guide this raw gem towards its most radiant potential as a fiery diamond. I love the symbolism. I use these all the time because people say, Michelle, you've gone through so much. You have, brain missing 4 areas of your brain. You have breast cancer. You have all these surgeries, but you keep smiling. And I said, because somebody's putting me under pressure because I'm turning into a diamond. I mean, so
very well said, Kevin.
So when people say, "Oh, I have all these troubles," I do great. What are you learning? Yeah. What are you learning? And so, if those of you who are watching, you're like, "Where does Michelle always get these things? And where does she always think such big thoughts?" Because I hang out with this man right here. If you want to have fun and come listen, come to the courses. They're free courses. Everyone can come on and we just talk. Okay, so come. And we'll give the information on how to join and how to find the links and everything later. But if you like deep thoughts, if you like to piece apart why the world works the way it is and why it does, this is a great neutral place to be, because I've learned so much from Guruji. And we've got people that says, I like that. Don't complain. Thank you, Vinayji. Much wisdom. I get so much wisdom from this show. Hari Om, Walang. Kevin, you speak Tagalog. Walang anuman. Don't worry. Anyway.
Yeah.
My next question, and I really think you already answered it, but I'm moving with you because I've been in your course. Share a few mental attitudes that we can adopt to help overcome our daily stresses. Because I know some people are thinking about that. So can you answer that? What can they bring in?
See, as I've said, stress is a mental disappointment.
Yes.
A mental disappointment which arises from two factors. The two familiar words we seem to use, but we don't know the deeper context of it. See, constantly we are desiring. We desire is nothing but wanting something from the external world. And then we have a certain expectation. One is a want, another is an expectation that you want the world to fit into what your wants are. So you want something and you want the world to cater to it. And when your expectations are not met, when your desires are not satisfied, you are disappointed, you are stressed, you are agitated. And you believe it's the world that's causing me the stress. If you leave this session today realizing it is not the world, it is right within me, believe me, that's the mental shift you would have achieved today in the interaction you've had. It's not the world, it's within me. So how do you go about, what are the mental attitudes you must have? Firstly, you must understand that you must make your expectations as reasonable as possible.
Yes.
As long as you're reasonable, as long as your expectations are rational, you will not have disappointments, you will not have mental accidents. You will find yourself fairly contented and happy. Because when you complain, what are you complaining? I'll give a few examples. Perhaps
Please.
it might strike a chord with you. Let's say my child is mediocre in studies, but I want my child to excel. I want my child to be brilliant. That's a wrong expectation. You have a teenager child. The child is immature and indisciplined. I know a friend of mine who constantly complains of his son, that this guy is immature and indisciplined. He doesn't know the value of what is coming his way. I hope this guy understands all what I had to struggle to provide for him. So you want your child to be mature and disciplined. I know a lady constantly complains that her husband is a drunkard. Every evening she says, I go to a spiritual gathering, he goes to the club. How nice it would be if he also comes along with me and both of us go to a spiritual gathering and we both are in the same boat, because we have lived lives together for the past 30, 40 years, but we want to evolve together. So I can help him, he helps me, but we both go different ways in certain things. So she has a complaint that he is a drunkard, but you want him to be a teetotaler.
Yeah.
A husband is complaining of the wife is nagging, constantly nagging. You want your wife to cooperate. You complain that your boss is too demanding, he is hysterical. You believe your government is corrupt, you want the government to be clean. If some of you come to India, you say, oh, the traffic is chaotic here. You want, if only the traffic is little organized, little streamlined. You want the summer to be cool. You want the winter to be warm. You want the monsoon to be dry. Now you see, your demands and desires, our expectations are not in line with what the world is. You got to take a stock, take assessment of what the world is. For that, you need to learn to operate with intellect. The Sanskrit word for the intellect is buddhi.
Buddhi.
Buddhi. Buddhi. B-U-D-D-H-I. Buddhi is intellect. And intellect is a product of spiritual wisdom, of this eternal wisdom. You all intelligent people, very successful. In the course of my life, I have met people who are very successful. But yet, I know they've made a mockery of their life in terms of relationships or people. In fact, I had a person brought to me many years ago. He had hit the Limca Book of Records. It's like the Guinness Book of Records. India has got a book called the Limca Book of Records. And he hit the record books for having counseled the maximum number of people. He counsels and he's helped them. He has hit the record books. I take his name, you will know who that is. I would not take name. And I remember he was brought to me to counsel him. He didn't know how to handle his teenage daughter. He didn't know how to handle his teenage daughter, and he sought some counsel from me, while he stood as someone who hit the record books for having counseled the maximum number of people in relationships. So what is the use of all your knowledge? You're intelligent. The knowledge is of no use if it doesn't help you. As the saying goes, we're all great philosophers, and the problem is somebody else's.
Yes. about to say that to you.
Yeah, but what happened? What happens when the problem is one's own, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? So the main thing you got to understand is stop bitterly complaining. Rather, learn to gracefully accept whatever life has presented itself to you. This is the major mental shift you're going to bring out in your approach and perception to life. The mental shift is stop complaining. You're bitterly complaining of every facet of life. Right from the morning, your maid has not turned up, or your driver is late, or the traffic is bad, or the weather is too hot, or anything, endless list of grumbling and complaining. Or you take a stock, accept it gracefully, and learn to deal with it gracefully.
Yes.
And this is possible if you operate on emotions, you'll complain. If you operate on reason, you'll accept life.
Yes. And this is why I go to the courses. Because I feel alone in the world sometimes, because I always say, that's not your problem. You can't control them. Stop trying to control them. I'm so upset. You're upset because you're trying to control someone else, control you. How do you react is what you can control. Use your mind. Use your mind. Get out of the emotional state and you can move. And I do, if you're enjoying this, I'm going to say it again. We're going to share how to link on and get to these courses. Join us, because we have a wonderful time discussing. And we've got a lot of people writing here on the side. Thank you, Kevin Lee. He says, haha, she is a radiant diamond in her spirit. Love it. And then Cernivias says, live life purposely and peacefully while chasing the challenges continuously. It's art living. And then Bill says, again, he says, Vinayji, why do you share your wisdom? What drives you? I am grateful for it, though. I'm curious. What drives you?
See, it's what drives me is utter love and concern. Here's something which has benefited and transformed me. I just want to share that joy with others. I wouldn't want to keep it with me selfishly for my own self, isn't it? It's like a child who has a toy. When guests come to the house, the child goes with joy and says, I've got a new toy, I've got a new toy. It's just sharing its joy and there's a smile on the face. But when the same child is fighting with their own sibling, that it's mine, it doesn't want to part with its own sibling, you find there's a frown, there's no joy. I have been impacted. This knowledge has transformed me. It hit me like an avalanche, as I said in the beginning. It transformed, it pulled the carpet under my feet. It changed the whole course of my life. I've been doing this for the past 30 years. It's not the time frame. The rest of my life, I've devoted to serving this wisdom, to this knowledge, to people with utter love and concern. Just to help hear this wisdom. You don't realize that you need a manual, man. In fact, it boggles my mind. How can life go on without having a manual? You need this, man. For God's sake, don't pay the price of ignorance. All I'm trying to do is trying to remove the ignorance, the blanket of ignorance, which is causing you're blissfully unaware of what's happening to you in life. You're just unaware. As I say, ignorance is bliss. And I'm just trying to pass on the wisdom. Just take off that veil of wisdom. Sorry, the veil of ignorance, rather.
Yes.
Share this wisdom. Share this wisdom. And none of it is mine. It's just something which is being laid down. So that what drives me.
Well, when you gave the example of the child sharing the toy or not sharing the toy, Kevin Lee says he has a question. He says his 9-year-old nephew is very fiery, struggles with focusing in school and studies, is a little bit mean-spirited, and is very defiant to his parents. What can we do to help him become happier and a better child?
See, Kevin, I appreciate your question and interaction. See, every child, every human wants that freedom. It is the very birthright of every human. If the parents are constantly piggyback on the child, constantly imposing, constantly thrusting their views onto the child will revolt. See, I run a module on parenting. And in that module, I do tell the product of wrong parenting, either your child becomes a mere vegetable or they become a rebel.
Yeah.
a child either becomes a vegetable or a rebel. And this is the result of unnatural parenting. So I have little advice to the child. I have a lot of advice to the parents, though. If you let the child be what he or she is, and let the child discover their own inner latent nature, vasanas. In Sanskrit, known as vasanas. Vasana means an inner nature. It's the job of a parent to let the child know what he or she is designed for, and let the child blossom. So that a parent is meant to give the pathway, not impose themselves onto the child. And when that unnatural upbringing comes in, a child becomes a rebel. So this is a classic case of a child becoming a rebel, just revolting everything that's coming his way. Even the best of advice is not accepted because they realize it's unnatural. That's why I said I'm so grateful to my parents for having given me the freedom of trying to pursue my passion. And it was so much in it, and I took it, and I am what I am today is because of that freedom they gave me.
Yes.
So as a parent, give the freedom, but not so much freedom that they become licentious. Yeah. There's a very thin line, please. See, a life of freedom without discipline leads to licentious. A life of freedom is essential for everyone, but there has to be a certain culture, certain values, certain discipline that determine or give the boundary of the discipline. So where there is this discipline and this freedom, then you lead a life of non-licentiousness. So as a parent, it's your duty to give the freedom for the child and set the right standards. As a parent, you set the right standards for the child, looks up to you as a role model, and leave the child to look up to you. And in the course of time, they'll really start appreciating whatever that is coming their way, and they'll start emulating it. They'll start embracing it.
Instead of fighting back. So,
yes.
Guruji, do you have a course on when they go to the website, when they go to the Wisdom Foundation website? Can they find those courses? Okay, so we'll share the Wisdom Foundation website on the bottom here, and just definitely take track of that. And then wisdomfoundation.co.in. Go there, and there's a list of courses. We're going to give you an image later in about 8 minutes that you can take a screenshot of, so you'll know when the times and everything are, and the sign-in sheets. So you can just sign in and go into the thing. But we are going into our second commercial. Guruji, okay, everyone, do you understand now why I wanted Guruji here? Because honestly, I can talk to him for hours, and I only have an hour with him. So if we could, we're going to go to commercial. Please stay here. Don't leave me, Guruji. Don't leave me. And those of you watching, please share the live stream. People need this wisdom. There's so many of us out there looking for a manual to life, and you can go on every weekend and listen and learn a little bit more. And the mind opening, just the opening of your mind is just the most wonderful experience. I love it. I go there all the time, and people always look at me and say, "Hey, Michelle, you're so smart." I do. No, I'm not. I just like to talk. And so I just like to examine. So we're going to commercial. Please stand by. Don't leave us. And then please share this live link, because Guruji has so much wisdom to share. And and when we come back, we'll share how you can join him. So please stand by. We'll be right back after this commercial. Welcome back to Mental Shift. My name is Michelle Mras. The following shows are the second half of all the TNC live streams. And remember, they're all given in Philippine time. So Health is Wealth on Healthline, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Coping and Coupling, Couple Goals, Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Strategize and Win in Life through Win Within, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Check out replays of Market Leader. Your Rights, Yo Law, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Negocio at Home, Fridays at noon. Tech U can be watched anytime on the streams. TNC Marketplace, Fridays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Danny Art Show, After Shift, Women at Work, COVID Stories, The Family Business, Usapang Beauty, and Fourth Project are all on replay. Catch also our originals, One Day, TNC Arena, TNC PressCon, and the TNC Town Hall, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Co-hosted by the TNC founders, Lloyd and Apple. Town Hall is where we talk to you, our valued audience. And it's never too late for Mental Shift, Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. USA Mountain Standard Time, Wednesdays and Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Philippine time. And thank you so much for joining me. For more upcoming shows, follow the hashtag TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube and allow your passion to inspire you. And together, let's see hashtag the needs. Hashtag see the new you. Welcome back to Mental Shift, and this is Michelle Mras, and we are talking to my friend, oh my goodness, I just think he's the most awesome man, Guruji, Vinayji. I can't even say your real name. I only call you Guruji.
Please call me Guruji. Okay. It feels nice.
It's
perfect as well. Yeah, absolutely, no problem at all.
And Kevin says, yes, they are totally on top of the child 100% of the time, very tough on him. So we can help this child by giving him the freedom he deserves with disciplines. Understood. Thank you, sir. And very true. Let him spread his wings a little bit, because basically right now he's fighting.
He's a shackle. Yeah.
He's shackled.
Yes.
And then
absolutely.
Bill says, don't pay the price of ignorance. That's genius. And then I'm going to not say your name right. Ranganathan, it's a great chat. Thanks. And then, Bill says, your control, my control, the great spirit's control. Yes. And then we also had, I lost one. I lost somebody in there. Wonderful evening. Thank you, Denim and Pearls. That's my business partner for my co-host on Denim and Pearls podcast that I do on Fridays at noon on Mountain Standard Time.
Wonderful, Denim. Yeah.
Yes. So, again, I'm going to instill in all of you that we're at the end of our hour already. And if we can show the image of the Wisdom Foundation, the black image with the book, and then the other image with yes, I know it's small, but if you take a picture of that, you can take all the information. But honestly, if you just go to the wisdomfoundation.co.in or in, I can't remember it. Is it CO?
Yes, it is co.in. Yes.
Okay. Oh, Kevin Lee put it in there. Yes. Thank you. Wisdomfoundation.co.in. You can find the courses. There's a white sheet that I put into that is all the times. That one. Take a picture of this, because I personally attend the Sunday night one because it's just an amazing place. So take a picture and see which ones you want to join on, or just jump on all of them and learn a little bit and find out where you really want to visit. Because the conversation we had tonight on Mental Shift with Guruji, this is what we do on each of these courses. And they are regularly weekly programs being conducted by the Wisdom Foundation. And of course, their sessions are led by Vinayji, which is Guruji, because I can't say that. And it's the roadmap for a happy, successful, and meaningful life. And if you are ready to have a happy, successful, meaningful life, you're invited to participate and benefit from these unmissable courses. Really, you will love being there. Granted, you must turn on your camera, because Guruji likes to see your face, okay? And then we can interact much easier. So please take a picture of this screenshot, or do a replay and share this with your friends, and jump on this again with your friends again and say, hey, we should all get together and do this, because this is so important to be able to find peace among within ourselves. And on this note, have you taken pictures already, everybody? Okay, because we're going to another picture. There's a gold picture, and it's got my face on it. The Soulful Exploration presents a 2-day virtual corporate retreat, Soulful New You. we're talking about also this inner finding the peace in yourself. They brought me into this because of my work with Guruji. And so I'm doing a 30-minute talk and then a 45-minute talk about the importance.
Wonderful.
Yes, and it's thank you for you. But yeah, we can take that on. But it's coming up on the 19th and the 20th of March. It's all virtual. It's online, and you can get on that. Go to the soulfulexploration.com and learn more about it. And you can see me actually speak instead of just talk. So come on back. We're running over time. I'm over time already. Guruji, I'm so honored that you took time from your incredibly busy schedule to be with me and to be with everyone here watching you today, because I know they all had a mental shift listening to you. And I hope that they are encouraged to join onto your courses. They're free to join, because this is what Guruji is about. He's about giving and uplifting and helping people take that veil of ignorance off so we stop being victims of our own lives and take control of who we are. We are in control. And if you feel out of control, I promise you, if you go to these courses, you will learn and you will realize, wait a minute, I've got the power. I mean, really, you've got it. And you will learn that when you come on to the courses with us. So please join us. I hope you took a picture of that. If not, just go listen to the replay. Share this with friends, because you know darn well more people need to hear this. I'm way over time now. Guruji, thank you. And for those of you—
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet you both tonight. And Kevin, I don't speak in. Can you put Kevin Lee's up? Because I can't say it. Can you read that? Dhanawad Guruji.
Dhanyavad is just thank you in Hindi.
Lovely to meet you both.
Lovely to meet you, Kevin, as well. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Hope to see you on one of the courses.
Thanks, Kevin.
For those of you watching right now, if you enjoyed this discussion with Guruji, I have people on every Tuesday and Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time in the United States, 10:30 a.m. Wednesday morning in the Philippines, and I believe it's 8 a.m. in India on Wednesday, right? So please join us again. Please share this with your friends. Really help them find the best version of themselves. Help them stop being victims of what their lives are giving to them so they can take control of who they are. Thank you again for joining us. And until next time, my name is Michelle Mras, and you are watching Mental Shift.